Good evening and welcome to Cardiff City World for the breakdown of Leeds United versus Cardiff City, 1st of February 2025. What an absolute nightmare. It's to put it bluntly, really, I suppose. I think as we said on previous podcasts over the last couple of weeks, obviously we've been on a decent run. Going up to Leeds, they're at the top of the division for a reason. So almost seen it as a bit of a free hit for me, really. Disappointed, obviously, to lose the game. I thought, we were on a decent run. Boys would have been confident going up there. But to lose in the way we did was obviously disappointing. And, that scoreline was... just not good enough, was it? And let's be honest, 7-0. It could have been double figures, if I'm completely honest with you. And that's the truth. Simple as that. But we move on. Obviously, we'll talk a bit about it. I know, obviously, Rhys and Rob talked a lot about it last night. I think that was a very well viewed show last night. So thanks for everybody for tuning in. Anybody wants to cover anything tonight, please put your comments in the chat. There are a few people in there already, so I will dive into that shortly. I might be joined by Mr. Rob Boyle at some point. So his ugly mug might join us in the next few minutes. But who knows? You might be stuck with my ugly mug. So a few people in the comments already. Evening, Rhys. How's tricks, buddy? Paul, good evening, mate. Paul says good evening to the chat as well. Martin Ryan, good evening, pal. How's tricks? Graham, good evening, my friend. Vincent Taylor, evening, Nat. I've been called a lot worse than I've been, so I'm not too worried about that at all, mate. Old sausage fingers out tonight, better Graham, got to be a reaction now. Yeah, we'll come on to that now in a bit, I think. Vincent Taylor, evening, Matt. Suze, good evening. Paul, they knew our weaknesses and exploited it. They were so quick, we had no answers to it. Never have I seen a Cardiff side give in so easy. Right, let's go from the beginning then. So, was I shocked with any of the players in the lineup? I think, if I'm completely honest, and as much as I love him, Joe Rowles, I thought perhaps that might have been a game a bit too much for him, pace-wise, basically. Leeds was full of pace throughout the team, if I'm completely honest, and it's what ripped us apart. Defensively, we looked poor. Every mistake we made, they pounced on, and I just don't think we didn't look as if we wanted to get back and rectify the issues that we made, in my personal opinion, and others might see it differently, which is completely fine. I'm no expert, I'm no analyst. Sai does the breakdowns. You will probably notice a lot better than what I will do. I'm not one of these ones who look at all the tactical side of it, but it was just disappointing, I think. Yeah, it's chalk and cheese. We go back to the Swansea game a couple of weeks ago and the performance we put in that day. And granted, as I said, Leeds are at the top of the division for a reason. I thought they were excellent, absolutely brilliant. And like I said, they had so much pace. It was frightening. Callum O'Dowda, another one, great to see him back. But what a baptism of fire, having been out for a couple of weeks injured and, back straight into the mix against Leeds United. But yeah, like I said, it was a disappointing result. I'll go through some of the stats and things in a minute, which the possession shocked me really, because I think the last couple of games we've played against teams where they've had 65-70% possession, and we've done well. We won games and taken points from games. I think it was a lot closer yesterday. I think Leeds had something like 58% possession, but obviously that 58% of the possession they had, they made it count, and everything we made or done wrong yesterday, they just capitalised. I think they had 14 corners to our 1 or potentially 2. And it looked men versus boys, to be honest. I think it was a difficult watch yesterday, very difficult watch. And again, that's my personal opinion. Does it stop me going down to support next time? No, not at all. I'll be travelling up to Stoke next weekend for the FA Cup game and get behind the boys. I know there's a lot of disappointed people after yesterday and the performance, and a lot of people saying that they didn't look interested, and which I get. I totally get that. But I just think, we got to keep the faith, as I put just under my name there. And don't forget, the run that we have been on, 7-8, was in 9 games, undefeated, playing against the top team in the division who was going to get promoted 100%. But it just showed where our weaknesses were. Everything Leeds done yesterday, that's where, ideally as a Cardiff fan, that's where we want to be. They had so much pace throughout the team. It just caused us so many problems. They were the first ones to first and second balls, and we just didn't look at the races. I thought we started not too bad, but Jack Annick, I thought at times he could have come off his line a little bit quicker. But I'm not here to slate anybody tonight, because obviously I don't want to do it. You could sit here and slate the players, but like I said, let's not forget the run they've been on. It's been a difficult few months. So, we tried to play football against Leeds, and I just don't think it worked. We played into their hands. Obviously, their players are better, got more ability than perhaps our players have. And like I said, when we made a mistake, they were all over us like a cheap suit. So it was difficult. Right, let's just jump into some of these comments before I go and look at some of the stats. Thanks, guys, for getting involved. There's loads of comments in there straight away. Paul, they knew our weaknesses and exploited it. They were so quick, we had no answers to it. Never have I seen Cardiff side give in so easy. I think I mentioned that one earlier, didn't I? Exposed how weak our side actually is yesterday. We are a long way off the top sides in the division. Unfortunately, that's the case, mate, I think. And it's frightening to see the difference between us in 18th then and Leeds at the top. The gap then is insane for me. And then Leeds going up again, then that gap between Leeds going up and the Premiership, that'll be another insane gap as well. But Leeds always well supported. I think the crowd was over 35,000 here yesterday. Full credit to the 1,200 Cardiff fans who travelled up a long old way to go to support your team, and especially after getting battered 7-0. I bet the journey home wasn't nice. But as always, we support our team very well when we go away. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Stoke now next Saturday. I'm not sure how many people will go up for Stoke. With it being an FA Cup game, it'd probably be obviously different if it was a league game. But, looking forward to taking the boy up next week. Take another stadium off his list. So, looked like it was a Prem team versus a Championship team. I think that's mild, I think this is. Leeds are good, but we have good players and should never lose by that score. Get it. Rich, spot on, buddy. Yeah. We've got players in our squad who can mix it with the best in the division, 100%. But for whatever reason yesterday, it didn't happen. And you can't afford to have so many people off their game in a game against Leeds United. But that's what happened. Martin Ryan, unfortunately, it looked like a Premier League team against a National League team. Just elaborated a little bit more on Sue's comment. Harrogate Town showed more fight than we did at Leeds. Lou, Leeds are very good. We definitely handed them the initiatives to absolutely batter us. We need a reaction. Hopefully see you at Stoke, mate. Yeah, come and find me if you can. You can't miss me, really. Big, bold, fat mother covered in tattoos. So, yeah. We lacked so much pace in midfield. We were overrun. 100% agree with you, mate. And I think that goes back to my comment earlier, right at the beginning, when I said about Joe Rawls starting. I love Joe Rawls and everything he's done for us. I think he's an absolute legend. But I just don't think that game yesterday would have suited him at all. I think we needed more pace, more energy in that midfield. Should we have let Sio go a couple of days later? Maybe. But hindsight's a wonderful thing. It is what it is, and it's gone now. And like we said, somebody said earlier, we need a reaction. And yeah, 100% we do. The next few games is Portsmouth, Stoke, Bristol City, Plymouth, I think. So, those three league, take the Stoke FA Cup game away. Those three league games are massive, massive opportunity for us to climb away from the bottom against, they're all teams who are, apart from Bristol, I suppose, Portsmouth are down there. Plymouth are obviously down there. So it's vitally important that we're picking up points against those teams who are down and around us. Are we going to get judged on the performances like yesterday? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But like I said, it was a free hit for me. It was just disappointing in the performance of some of the guys out there. But hey, it is what it is. Graham, watching players arriving on TV, I thought they looked beaten. Not losing any sleep, bigger games as far as we're concerned. 100% Sue's, 100%. And like you said, Portsmouth now, Bristol City, nice derby, a week Saturday, followed by Plymouth then towards the end of the month. Jonathan Davis says, I thought we would have a hammering, but not quite that much. I think the only positive we can probably take away from yesterday was the fact that I don't think we picked up any injuries, to be honest. I think that was the only positive that we had, to be fair. Paul says, film Rocky 2 where Apollo Creed's trainer said, I saw you beat the man like I've never seen no man get beat before. And the man kept coming after you. Now we don't need a man like that in our lives. Nice, Paul. Yeah, Leeds just kept coming and coming. It was good performance, obviously, if you're a Leeds supporter. And I know there was lots of Leeds supporters tuned into the podcast last night. Fair play and good luck to you. Get back to that promised land and wish you all the best when you're up there. Yeah, don't fancy going to Island Road again next year and getting battered 7-0 again. Graham was wondering if the virus in the club is still affecting them, particularly having Reindorf on the bench. Yeah, that was a weird one for me. Obviously, I think it was well documented or highlighted that he's potentially going out on loan to Notts County. Somebody might correct me. But yeah, it's a weird one to see him there. Obviously, Matty wasn't involved yesterday, I don't think. So, yeah, strange. But, perhaps it's been a change of heart. And, potentially he might be staying. But who knows? Who knows? Magician, Leeds fan here. Hope you all the best, lads. Good luck for the rest of the season. And hopefully a decent Cardiff side in the near future to bring you some joy back. Top man, thank you very much for chucking that comment in there. Obviously, you didn't have to do that, but no, appreciate that. And thanks for getting involved. Really appreciate it. And I think obviously that was a blip yesterday, a massive blip. I think since over the Christmas period and January, then we've been on a decent run. Elland Road is never an easy place to go, ever. And I think just the manner of the performance yesterday was disappointing for a lot of people. But I don't think it'll dampen spirits too much. I hope, like I said, let's see the reaction now this week, and hopefully another player or two coming in, and we'll go on to bigger and better things now over the next 3 or 4 games, which is massively important for us. So thanks for that comment. No excuse for having 2 shots in 90 minutes. It's Leeds, not Barcelona away. So yeah, JT, that's spot on. And looking at some of the stats from yesterday was frightening me. To be honest, I know Sai obviously looks at a lot of the stats. 58% possession. Leeds had to our 42%. They had a total of 29 shots to our 2. Only 12 of those 29 were on target, mind. Again, Anik had a couple of decent saves. Like I said, it could have easily been double figures. But yeah, to go to Elland Road and allow them to have 29 shots at our goal, I think, it's not good, is it? Fouls committed, 17 Cardiff, 10 to Leeds. I think discipline was poor. Like I said, they had so much pace and silly free kicks, taking people down because that was the only option. Against the teams at the top of the division, you are going to get punished. Another stat I think I mentioned earlier was the fact that Leeds had 14 corners to our 1, which I thought was absolutely bonkers. So yeah, that's a couple of the stats. I'm going to dive back into the comments, guys, because you are what makes the podcast. Vincent Taylor, we haven't got to worry about what happened at Leeds. It was probably what was going to happen anyway. We carry on. Got to get back on the bike, don't we, and just start pedaling again. Get back on the track. Choo-choo. Let's have a little look here. Jonathan Davis. Hopefully the team take this one as a kick up the backside and are motivated for the next one and don't drop confidence and go on another bad run. Yeah. I think that's the worry and the concern, I suppose, and it is that when Rhys took over, first off, we had we went on a good run. Was it 5 or 6 games, I think, undefeated, and then we had a month or 2 then where we had a bit of a blip and we couldn't buy a win. So the fingers crossed. Obviously, with Portsmouth coming up now, Stoke in the FA Cup, we can see that reaction straight away. If I hope the players come off that field Saturday chomping at the bit to get back out there and put things right, because, like I said, it wasn't good enough. John Watkins, good evening, buddy. We were lucky that other results went for us. Big question now is, can we come back in the next league game? We got to. Not only that, here's a question for you guys in the chat and things, and we're probably at the tail end of the transfer window now, so whatever business is going to get done was probably done and in the pipelines before yesterday's result. But do you think that could potentially have a negative impact on anybody coming in now towards the end of the window, that type of result? Or, as I mentioned, do you think that deals would have been done before yesterday's result? I'll carry on reading through the comments now and see if anybody does pick up on that question. Martin Ryan says we need the experienced players to stand up now. Too many hiding on Saturday, especially the experienced players. My co-host for the 1927 Club podcast, Mr. Rhys David Evans. Good evening, pal. Think tactically, we just expected to set up as we did against Swansea and play the same way and expect a win. Burnley parked the bus for a reason. Thought we set up wrong. Should have gone counter. Jonathan Davis, I thought Reindorf had already joined Notts County till I saw the lineup. Yeah, 100%, but I thought exactly the same. So I'm not sure what quite happened there. Rhys David Evans, to be fair, we had some decent Leeds fans on last night, apart from one or two. You'll always get one or two, mate, and it is what it is. Don't take nothing to heart. Rambo and Silic both got 45 minutes in the under-21s. Rambo with an assist for a lovely take and Simic goal. Rambo moving freely and showed some of his classy touches. Yes, under-21s, but nice run out. Come back to that a little bit later, Suze. Martin says about Simic's finish was delightful. John Watkins, this is now a major challenge for Riza. Hopefully he can get the team over this and back to the football we have enjoyed lately. And I think the big thing for me is let's not hit the panic button or self-destruct mode. I think there's one fixture out of the last 8 or 9 games that has gone, and let's be honest, it went majorly wrong. But I don't think we have to hit panic button and start stressing and things. It's just, keeping everybody level-headed, identifying areas that, we need to work on and things, but let's not hit self-destruct mode and people getting stressed and panicking and things. I think, like I said, Leeds were brilliant and we just went at the races. Paul says, lovely finish from Simic, talking about the 21s. Paul also says, the result was poor, we all agree, but we had a build inside and we got a good, decent crop of players. Come the summer, we need a captain. Question for you then, Paul. Who do you think will be the next captain? Obviously, Joe Rawls and Jack Anick have kind of been sharing the duty this season. Obviously, Jack Anick has just signed another 1-year contract extension. Would you keep it with Jack Anick? Obviously, with Joe Rawls potentially might not be playing as much now. Maybe next season, perhaps. What's your thoughts? Richard Newell Asai always says, keep the faith. We have to, buddy. We have to. Martin Ryan says, think we will sign young players on loan. They want to gain match experience. So here's another question for you guys in the chat then. Something I was thinking about last night. Obviously, we've got a lot of good youngsters in the building at the moment. Are we shooting ourselves in the foot by bringing in somebody, I know is obviously a Premier League club, younger players on loan? Is that going to have a hindrance on the development of our own players? Be interested to see what people's thoughts are. Chris Wood, another Leeds fan. Feel for the Cardiff fans who travelled all the way for that. Yeah, 100%, buddy. Like I said earlier, we are always well supported. I say home and away, but our away fans are amazing. Here's my buddy. All right, pal.
What's happening? How is everyone? Good?
Yeah, we're all good, but just talking about there's another Leeds fan in the chat saying he felt for the Cardiff fans who travelled all that way for that yesterday. So, yeah, and I was just saying about how well supported we are going away, and it was disappointing. So, it is what it is. I'm just going to start flying through these comments, buddy. That's all. But I was tricks for you, but you all good?
Yeah, wicked, but really good. Good day in football for us today. So it's brightened up my weekend, should we say, after obviously I watched the rugby on Friday. So that wasn't great. And obviously yesterday wasn't great either, should we say. But and the 21s played well yesterday, I should say.
Yeah, there's a couple of comments about the 21s, so we'll let me dive through these comments and we'll catch up on the 21s.
Dive right in, my friend.
John Watkins says, Sai made a very good point some time ago that clubs may see a positive in some young players experiencing relegation pressures. I think most players would see yesterday as a one-off. Let's hope so. Rhys David Evans, think it did show a clear lack of any on-field leadership. I do think that the result exposed some major weaknesses in the side and the squad. I don't think Darlin and Gutas looked at the races yesterday at all, did they, for me?
No, I don't think so, mate. And we touched upon it briefly last night. I say briefly, I can't really remember now. But, how much impact, I know it sounds stupid, but how much impact CEO leaving does that have on Dimmy?
Yeah.
Again,
like body language and facial expressions, he just didn't look as if he was enjoying it yesterday. And let's be honest, if you're getting battered 4, 5, 6, 7-0 as it finished, I don't think you are going to look too impressed with it, do you?
No, that's right, mate. And I think, I expect you've covered it a bit already, but I was pleased that they changed the setup 2-0 down to go more secure at the back. Obviously, it didn't fall well in the end. I thought, okay, when they made that change in formation, putting Chambers and going for a back five, I thought, all right, I doubt they didn't think Cardiff could go on and get anything from it, but it's going to keep it more realistic. But unfortunately, it didn't. The rest is history, and it didn't turn out that way in the slightest. But yeah, it's a hard one to take, but it's a bit of a pill to swallow, this one. I got to be honest.
But I think, us as fans, like the players, really, I think we've just got to kind of let it go. It is what it is. It's happened. It's gone. Let's move on. There's people in the comments tonight said, we need a reaction. And I just think we need to just get back on the bandwagon, put all our support back behind the boys, and, let's focus on the next game. What has happened has happened. Obviously, it wasn't good, and we're not happy with it. But, we can't change that. The only thing we can change now is what happens next. And, like people have alluded to, the next couple of games are massive. I think you guys touched upon it last night. We got Portsmouth, Stoke in the FA Cup, Bristol City, and Plymouth. So they're 3 league games, then they're massive. And it's something, we need to be targeting 4 points from each one of them.
I just want to bring up, and this was a regular occurrence last night in the chat. Forgive me, Adam, if you were one of the Leeds fans who commented last night. I do apologise, mate. But that was a telling theme last night in the chat from, there was some more audacious Leeds fans in the chat, but there's some very, very level-headed ones. It may well have been Adam as well, so apologies, mate, if it was or wasn't you. But that was a reoccurring theme in how we set up, in that we didn't change our setup, basically, to almost show a bit more respect to Leeds. And we went there thinking that we were going to turn them over like we've done to other teams of recent weeks. We weren't that much more defensively sound that we should have been a bit more sit back, take the pressure on, and just catch them on a counter. We went a bit more attacking than maybe we should have. And that's a reoccurring theme I found last night in the chat. And as I said, apologies, Adam, mate, if you brought it up last night as well. But that seemed to be a reoccurrence from the Leeds fans, what they thought, in fairness. Which,
went through some of the stats earlier before you jumped on, and it was like Leeds had 29 shots to our 2, I think it was. But then again, possession-wise, I think Leeds had 58% possession, and we had obviously the 42. But there's been games this season where the other team have had like 65% possession. We've still come away with something from the game. So that's... But just as I mentioned, obviously, again, before you come on, everything we done wrong, they were on us, weren't they? They just, so much pace, so keen, so hungry to want that first and second ball. They just suffocated us, just didn't allow us to do absolutely nothing. And you've got to give them credit for that.
Oh, 100%, mate. Look, again, I don't want to repeat too much of yesterday, but they're a Premiership team, mate. They're a Premiership team playing in the Championship division, and it's almost like it's just left field, but you almost want to have a Premiership 2.0. There's a gap between it because there's a few teams that in the Premiership were not good enough for the Premier League, but too good for the Championship, and there's a few teams in the Championship were too good for the Championship, but not good enough for the Premiership. So, it's wild. The English football pyramid at the moment is wild. It's come on leaps and bounds over the last few years because of money and things like that. But you can see the drop off, and you take a look. I know, so obviously this is a Cardiff show, etc. But you look at the Premiership table right now, mate. Who's in the bottom three? All the three teams that went up last season.
Yeah, the step up, the gulf between the two divisions is insane in every. You'll have the odd one. You'll have the odd team that'll surprise you, maybe. But you look at Southampton last year and how dominant they were in the Championship, and then to go up, I think, given the current situation where they are now, it's the lowest points anybody's ever had at this point of the season, I believe.
Yeah, they look all right. They beat. We still have as a point. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure they beat Ipswich yesterday, which is huge. Southampton, because I think they could still potentially do it. They could be on par to break Derby County's record points total in the Premiership, and that's a big win for them against Ipswich. Which probably shouldn't have lost that game, but that's a different story altogether.
Let's hope we have a reaction like Nottingham Forest did. Again, I know it's the Premiership, but obviously they got battered last week 5-0 and then battered Brighton yesterday 7-0. So let's hope. I'd be quite happy to go to. Is it Portsmouth Tuesday and then Stoke on the weekend? That's right, isn't it?
I think you're right, mate. I'll double check now.
It's a week Tuesday. I can't.
I'm losing my dates. I'm not too sure where I'm coming or going these days.
When you're looking at that, then I'll just crack on with the comments.
Yes.
Monkey thought you guys to a point looked quite slick in the passing out from the back. I think the express is outstanding. Again, as I mentioned earlier, mate, your commitment to winning the first and the second balls and closing us and pressing us down was what we want Cardiff players to be doing. And like I said, you can't fault them.
Yeah,
as much as it's pain seeing some of the old Jacks scoring against us as well.
So that
was at the game. Go on.
So what we got Stoke on Saturday, mate. FA Cup. Then on the following Tuesday, it's Portsmouth, followed by the Sandbridge Derby. On the following Saturday in Bristol City, and then you got Plymouth away, Hull home, huge, and then that's when it starts to turn. You got Burnley at home, Sunderland away. All right, granted they'll be home to Luton, but you want to be picking up we have to be picking up some points, some big points in the next 4 or 5 games before we start hosting Burnley and going away to Sunderland, because we don't pick up points there, mate. Then on those next few games, then you don't want to go through what we went through and take Burnley away.
Yeah, 100%. But 100% right. Before I go into any more of the comments, you'll notice there is a QR code up in the top right-hand corner. And also there's been a banner going across the bottom of the screen since we started nearly 35 minutes ago. But the QR code will take you through to our Ace Podcast Nation Patreon channel. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can become a member, and you have things like early access to live events. Rob will talk a little bit more about the next live event in a second. But you also have access to member shows, rumour mill shows, lots going on, and obviously it helps us to be able, or helps Si to be able to continue providing Cardiff City content 7 days a week across the channel. So if you can spare, what is it, £3, £4, £5 a month?
Yeah.
Scan the QR code. You can also join through the YouTube channel as well. And any help and support obviously goes a long way, and we do appreciate it. So
100%.
Go on.
100%. No, I was going to say, no, I was going to say 100%, mate. And at the end of the day, look, me and Ainge and Rhys and others who's on here, we do this just because we enjoy doing it. At the end of the day, we don't get paid to do it. We do it because we love it. We love the interaction. We love talking to our Cardiff City fans, and we love speaking to you wonderful Leeds fans as well. And therefore, I'd say those words in the same sentence, but it's nice. Like, it is nice, and this is like an open place. It's a friendly environment, and you know, I do appreciate it. Like last night, I know some people got a bit carried away, which is fine. It doesn't matter. You know, it's nice. It's a good place to be, and I highly recommend. Even if you guys and girls and they and thems don't want to do a subscription, which is fine, just subscribe and, you know, check us out, because, you know, we're a good crack.
Share the love. Share the love. We want to try and get to the 1,000 subscribers ASAP. I think we're on something like 900 and something. But
Adam, I'm still hangover from yesterday, but so it was a slip of the tongue, my friend. I do apologise. It won't happen again. But no, it's true though. It is true. It is a good crack. Yeah, like I just repeat what Ainge said. It's good fun, and highly recommend. Obviously, go tomorrow. We'll go through the big shows coming up in a bit anyway. But it's gonna be a belter. I can tell you that much.
Talk a little bit about the live event that's coming up then. So obviously there's perks for being a member. When you do that, obviously I'll just keep putting the comments up on, because there's loads and loads of comments. I'm never going to be able to read through them all, guys. So as Rob's telling you about the next live event, the first one of 2025, I'll continue to put some of the comments up.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, but the date's lost me already, which is a good start for PR, isn't it?
So we
got Glenn Louvan's coming up. It's in April, yeah. So we got Glenn Louvan's coming up in April, and I can't wait. As many of you followers would know, I tried to get Glenn doing the flower hour, but it wasn't to be. But I can't wait to actually meet him in person. Si's done these shows for a little while now. You know, so far we've had Andy Campbell, we've had Darren Pearce. Darren Pearce bought me a pint as well, by the way, and he still messages me. He's going to come down and do a training session at the end of the season with flower, by the way. We've had Willie Bowen. Willie Bowen's great. Joe Ledley, Craig Bellamy, of course. How can I forget? I think I'm missing some. Chopper's done one. I think I'm missing someone, aren't I? There's been loads. And do you know what the beauty of this is? Like, you know, you can do these events with other places and stuff, and they'll charge you 40, 50 quid sometimes, things like that. And all right, you might get some warmed up potatoes and some crap like that. But the thing with size stuff, you know, it's no. He books in great places. Block Horns, by the way, official member now of that pub. So can't wait to get my discounted beer when we have the Glen Louvan's night.
Shout out to Jordan Barrett. Is it like you said? It's a brilliant venue, isn't it?
All right, class. But the staff is wicked. They're so good. They look after you, every single one of them, from where the venue is. From where the events take place at the top down to the bar as well. And I've seen. I don't know if you've seen Ainge. He put a post up.
Pies and pasties. I thought you
I seen him in there, so I asked him. He just reacted with laughing faces, so I'm not convinced yet. So, no, it's good. Block-Ons is class. I'd recommend it. Even if you're not going to an event, if you're local in the area, it's a wicked place. Very, very friendly atmosphere. So massive shout out to Block-Ons. I digress.
It's a bargain. Like you say, the tickets are out on sale now. You can have a look on the Ace Podcast Nation and the Cardiff City World social media platforms. What's the tickets? A tenner, I think.
Yeah.
There are a couple of VIP ones for 20 quid, but I think I don't think there's many of them ones left. So for the price of it's a tenner. It's cheap as chips.
It is. It's class. It is class. Like I know I'm not trying to blow smoke up the gaffer's ass, but it is. For a tenner is a bargain for those sort of things. Like Jesus Christ, I think I've gone to a few rugby ones over the years, meet and greets and things like that, and I won't get much change from 50 quid. Like I said, you get some warmed up ham and stuff, but for those gentlemen nights, you don't particularly want to do that. You make do with a pack of crisps and a pasty from Jordan's spinning warmed up machine.
Packet of scampi fries and a packet of bacon fries. And
100%. Like, do you know what I mean? It's class. Like, I can't speak highly enough of it. But I can't wait, lad. I'm actually.
I just want to touch upon Martin's comment there. How will I know if I have tickets? You've paid your money. So I know what have previously happened in events is that if you've sent obviously a payment over to Jordan or Carly at Splot Cons, they had on arrival you pick up your tickets. They had envelopes with people's names on, mate. So and honestly, mate, Jordan's a lovely bloke. I think you've got emails and contact details. Just get in touch with him, mate. He's very approachable. He's a top bloke. And like I said, it's great that Si is able to have his events there because he's obviously supporting a local business as well. And it is a really good venue. So, yeah, it'd be good to catch up.
Yeah, sorry, Ains, just to say, if in doubt, mate, drop myself or Ains a message or Si even or whatever, and we'll check on it for you as well. Like, so... you don't feel like you have to do it yourself, mate. It's no problem at all. Always a good question from Adam. But
Always a question for us. It's a question for you guys. Which two teams do you think go up automatically and who in the playoffs?
Do you want to go first?
So Leeds will definitely go up, but 100%. Especially after, I know obviously they battered us yesterday, but I thought the strength and depth they got is incredible, I can't see anybody. I know it's still quite close at the top of the division. There's only 2 points separating them and Sheffield United. Another 3 points then separating Burnley, and then you got Burnley, Sunderland, Blackburn, and West Brom. I'd love to see Sunderland go back up. I don't know why, but I don't know why Sunderland. I'd love to see them go back up to the Premier League. I think obviously the rivalry between them and Newcastle would be.
They're a big club, mate. They're a massive club.
Yeah, 100%. And all teams from the Northeast tend to be, don't they? They're so well supported and. Massive fan base up and around that area. So, I would like Sunderland. I think, personally, it'll be Leeds. It'll be between Sheffield United and Burnley for the automatic, I think. But I would like Sunderland then to go up in via the playoffs.
Yeah, I've just been on a scour of it because every time I look at a championship table, the top six seems to change quite drastically. Mm-hmm. I don't want to blow smoke up their already heavily smoked up asses, but I think Leeds are a dead set. I got a feeling burning in a bottle there. I just got a feeling, and this is not because of my hatred of Scott Parker, by the way, because I can't stand the guy. I think Burnley will bottle it. I think it'll be as you are, Leeds, Sheffield United. I'm going to go a bit left field, and I'm going to say Norwich. I know they're outside of playoffs at the moment, but I reckon they're going to sneak in, and Norwich are going to go up. Or if not Norwich, Blackburn. That's my go-to.
What about
left field?
What about West Brom? And we'll talk a little bit about West Brom, only because I've seen another rumor today about Carlin Grant handing in a transfer request, which is very, very interesting. I loved him at Cardiff. I know you weren't his greatest fan.
That's where it all stemmed from, mate. That's where all the
that's a very interesting rumor, then, should we say, or I don't know how true it is to come out. Would you take him back now?
Was he better than? Okay, do you think he's better than El Ghazi?
At the moment, I would say yes, but El Ghazi is starting to show why we've offered him a deal, I think.
And obviously, is he better than Willock?
Yeah.
You think so? So you would say...
I would have him back. I'd have him back tomorrow, but I'd go and pick him up and bring him down. 100%.
It's hard. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm coming across harsh. As long as, I suppose, if the deal was right, if we weren't paying too much in the wages, I don't think we should go and buy him. If the deal's there to loan him, potentially, and pay a certain percentage to, correct me if I'm wrong, Rhys, David Evans, I'm sure he's out of contract in the summer as well. So I would want him on a percentage of his wages, because I don't think we should be paying the full 100% wages for him. I don't know, mate. I know he puts the effort in and stuff like that, but I want more end product. Like, we've had players like this in the last few years where they'll run and die for the shirt, which is great. Nope, no thanks. I ain't taking that.
You jump on with that a minute. I'll be back now. 2 seconds. Bear with me.
Yeah, no worries. Isn't that these fine coming out the woodworks? I shout actually at him with Patrick Bamford. What's happened there then, mate? Why is he... I know he's had the injuries and things like that, but, excuse me. So when he first went to the Premiership with... may not be specifically the first, but when he went up with Leeds and the Bielsa, there was talk of him being like... And he was very, very good, by the way. He was a good finisher. There was talk of him going to be leading the line for England and things like that, putting Harry Kane, etc., under pressure up front. So I don't know where it's fallen off. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, mate, as well. I don't think it's no secret that he doesn't actually like football. I think he's been like a Ben White, where he's not a big fan of watching it and things like that. He sees it as a job, which is fine. No problem. I got no problem with that whatsoever. So I wonder whether that's taken its toll as well. Yeah, that's a good shout there as well. So I just wonder where Bamford's fallen off, because he's gone from this young man from a few years ago who was going to be quality and do very well. And like I said, he had a very good first season in Premier Leeds when Bielsa took him up, but it just seems to have, all right, I'll say it, all fart no poo in the end. And it's just not transpired, and he's just fallen away. I know he's had injuries, etc. Yeah, he's a posh boy. What he said, yeah, one season when Bielsa squeezed extra out of each player, we create 4 chances. He's got, yeah, it's mad. It's mad, mate. And like, I generally thought, he's not my style of player personally, but I generally thought he was going to go on. After I've seen that first season with him in the Prem, I thought he was going to kick on and be a good Premiership player, like, do you know what I mean? Like maybe at West Ham or something like that, and a solid Premier League player, but he's just fallen away massively.
Yeah, and it happens. Leeds are in a position where obviously strength and depth wise, you look at the players they brought off the bench. Yes, they take Dan James off and bring on that William, what's his name, Ganato or something like that, and I think he pretty much scored within about 2 minutes, didn't he?
Willie Nondo, what a player, by the way.
Yeah.
He should be playing for a bigger club, personally, I think. The fact he was on the bench and he just shows it, says it all. Look, I don't want to keep giving him too much credit, mate. I don't want to keep giving him too much credit, especially because there's a few of them fans in the audience. But yeah, it's just It's wild. It's wild. I forgot he's made of glass. Yeah. I think that's a problem, my friend. He's the championship. Cavalier, don't even do a starter on him. Dresses like, what's his name? Eddie Izzard, like.
Right, we're going to start wrapping up in the next couple of minutes.
Sorry, I got carried away. I go to you would keep it short, but I've got carried away now since I jumped.
It's brilliant, but like I said, I was only going to do 15, 20 minutes, but obviously the guys in the chat, they make it. We've got over 160 people watching on YouTube. Well, I think it's YouTube anyway.
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
you can watch it on other platforms as well, I believe. But
platforms are available. It's not the BBC.
Yeah, obviously we do appreciate everybody, especially the Leeds fans who've tuned in as well. I think, obviously, 100%. Like you said earlier, it's great to be able to have opinions from other fans from other clubs, and obviously, we try and keep it PC. We don't try and slate people off too much unless you're from Swansea, really, and then we just don't.
Yeah, then you're pricks.
So if anybody wants to cover anything else off before we knock it on the head, then please let us know. We will give you the rundown of what's happening for the rest of the week.
Don't even bother putting Chris's comment up.
No, I'm not going to bother.
Don't give him the time of day.
Not giving him the time of day.
Go back to 99, Bat.
Not unless you want to. If you become a member, I'll put your comments up, Chris.
It's all good fun. It's good, all good fun. Good bit of band. I love it.
What's Paul saying? If Sunderland get Jayden Dance, put them for a playoff. Oh, that's another one now. That's a rumour for Sunderland, is it?
Oh, is it really? Charlie Crew. Oh, massive fan of Charlie Crew. Huge fan of Charlie Crew.
Graham said he would rather lose 7-0 to the champions than 5-0 to Norwich. We got to go to Norwich last game of the season, so don't say anything
again. Yeah, like Ellen Road.
Hope Sai is doing well, so I think most do are obviously aware. Sai had a little trip into hospital. I have spoke with Becky this afternoon. He is off his box on legal prescribed medication. So Becky was laughing at him when I phoned earlier because he was off his box. But I'm sure he'll tune in and have a little watch of this when he's back in the land of living. But he's on the mend, and I'm sure he'll be back on your screens probably towards the middle of the week. But yeah, he's all good. He's all good. Susan, Cardiff played too much of a high line with the pace of Leeds. Yeah, I think somebody else said that. Rhys David Evans. Cheers, Adam. All the best for the rest of his season. They still haven't forgotten.
We're living rent-free in their heads, mate. Yeah, I took that for Adam because he put a nice comment to us.
But what's happening for the rest of the weekend, my friend? Let the guys know.
Oh, what's happening, Bat?
So member show tomorrow. Me and you doing that tomorrow, are we?
Yes. So member show tomorrow, my friends. We will do. I think we will do a transfer deadline day show tomorrow, my friend.
We've got a white shirt and a yellow tie. You've got to dress up as Jim White now.
100%. Do you know what? I better not dress up as Cammy, mind. That will get us. I know it was Patreon show, but that might get us cancelled. If I do a Cammy. Yes, we will do a transfer deadline show tomorrow, guys. It won't necessarily just be Cardiff. We will do a bit of fun with it and have a look at transfers going on that affects us, maybe in the championship and things like that. And obviously of Cardiff, of course. But yeah, we'll do a bit of fun with it, mate. Should we? Do a bit of a nice little fun friendly, yeah.
I brought this one up. Is that the young kid? He's only about 14. Something like the Limbs or something like that it's called. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back. I think he goes to the games with his dad, and I've seen him a couple of times, and I spoke to him as well. He was he was sat behind me in West Brom, but he's a very passionate 14-year-old with no filter. Let's put it that way.
Oh, really? Is he
Yeah.
the kid that you see in the videos of away days with Cardiff, and he's always on like someone's shoulders, setting the crowd off?
No, I don't think so. He's really passionate about Cardiff, which is great to see.
Love that.
But he
just get some filter in, maybe, is it?
Yeah, if there was a sway jar, he'd be filling it up. Like. Yeah,
fair enough.
But, yeah, I love it. He's funny.
Hopefully, we've quenched your thirst, Crystal, mate. I know we're not quite that 14-year-old kid if that's what we look into watching, but hopefully we're up there for you, mate. Going back to what we got coming up. So we got, we'll do a transfer deadline show tomorrow on Patreon. So as obviously Ian just touched upon already, if you haven't become a member yet, make sure you...
How can you become a member, Rob?
Your screen's the opposite, isn't it? Scan a VR code. Scan a
QR
code there.
And if you don't want to scan the QR code, you can see the information going across the bottom of the screen. You can join via Ace Podcast Nation on Patreon, or you can join via the YouTube Cardiff City World channel for the price of a cup of coffee a month. Get involved. Help us to keep providing content related to Cardiff City 24 hours a day. Not quite. 7 days a week.
Christ, it may as well be. I'm waiting, but I'm still waiting to get 3 new subscribers when I do a show. So until that comes, my friend,
I don't think we'll even be playing them next year, but the way things are going, well, I say the way things are going, we've turned the corner. It was a blip yesterday, George. So, I see they won again as well. Mine's yesterday, didn't they? Wrexham, another late goal, I think.
Crawley. There's Crawley telling
they've thrown a bit of money around as well again, haven't they?
Yeah, good signing, J. Rodriguez. They've just signed him. And
they signed the Reading striker Smith as well, haven't they?
Have they? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
I don't think Paul Mullins having much of a look in at the moment.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last season there, mate. I think personally, and this, he was tipped obviously to go on and crack on for Wales, etc., and which is all well and good. But he's shown this is age, it's the level. I think he's found his level personally. But that's Sam Smith. Oh Christ, did he turn up in a blow up suit?
No, that's Sam Smith.
It's not that Sam. It's not the Sam Smith, is it? It's he Sam Smith instead.
I wanted to pull his comment up because I've seen it. I've seen the video on Facebook. I think of it. Chris, you'll have to elaborate a little bit, but I think
I'm not too sure on this one.
Is it like a big white cream colored coat? I think from the video that I've seen, and the Leeds fans are ripping right into him.
Oh, was there?
But I don't know who it was. If anybody's watching and you was the person who wore that coat yesterday, we'll
get you on Patreon tomorrow. Yeah, we'll get you on Patreon tomorrow so you can talk to us about it.
You've got to wear the coat live.
100%. Going back to what we got coming up. We'll have to look at that, mate. You said the 10 guys on Fan Watch TV. Nice one, Chris, mate. We'll have a look. I'll have a look at that because I think that's going to be something I'm up my street. So, coming up, guys. I guess sidetrack so much easily. So tomorrow, Patreon show. I know a lot of you already are Patreon members, but if you're not already, do it. Do it now for the love of me.
Have we got a surprise for the flower hour as well Tuesday, Beth?
I do. I say I do. I do. I hope. So on Tuesday, the rearranged guest of mine on Tuesday will be Charlton Athletic Hall of Famer, ex-Wales and Cardiff International, John Robinson. He'll be joining me on Tuesday. I'm not sure if it's just me and myself and him, or anybody else from the teams
You're
joining us.
doing
But
it early doors, you?
because of the time difference, mate, because he's living up in Dubai. It's going to be an R6 start, so it may not be too late for him, but we'll do at least half hour. We'll probably do an hour knowing him because he's class. You know, I feel like I've repeated myself because we spoke about this before when he first came on and when he was going to come on previously. But highly recommend it, guys. If you're a fan of football in that era, it's class. He'll answer anything as well. So, like, I know you don't mean, well, probably one of the few clubs he didn't play for is Leeds, but a few Leeds fans, it's something you'd enjoy. I think personally, he's a very, very nice guy.
And this is a question you've got to ask him. What I said in the WhatsApp group yesterday.
Bang phones in the dressing room.
Can you remember I put something in the group yesterday about Kian Ashford shared something on social media at like 2:05 yesterday. And I was like, should players be allowed on social media 5 or 10 minutes before they're allowed to go out for a warm-up? So it'll be interesting to see what people's thoughts are in the chat. But yeah, I was under that impression, mate. I thought, you know, fair enough if you're coming off the bus, you've got headphones, you're listening to your music, great. But once you get in that changing room, that phone stays in the bag. You know, you can do so much with your phones nowadays. It's just too much of a distraction. You should be focused on the game. And I'm not being thing against Kian Ashford, right? Because I think he's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But, you know, for him to go on and share the matchday squad, which was released at 2:00 then by Cardiff City, I just thought perhaps, you know, you should be in that moment by then, shouldn't you, surely?
I 100% agree with you. And it'd be difficult one to ask Robbo that because I don't think smartphones were invented when Robbo was in his home.
He was still playing Nokia, it's Snake on Nokia 3210.
He's having a game of Snake. He was before he's played. So I was going to say, sorry, Robbo, if you're watching, but it's about 4 o'clock in the morning where he is now. So never mind. No, that's good. And you know what? Like, if you can't take part with, you know, if you want to just send me some questions to ask, things like that, then feel free, like, because, like I said, he's an open book. Like, he is such an open book, and he's wild. He's so funny. He's such a nice guy. So I can't wait. We're going to have a few, so I won't go into it too much, but there's a Facebook group, Together Stronger Facebook group, Ainge. Not sure if you're aware of it, which is all about Welsh football, things like that. So I got a few people who's keen to watch along, as a big fan of Robbo. So it's going to be good, mate. So, like I say, it's an early start, so it's going to be a bit different. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good fun. So yeah, make sure you, if you can, guys.
What have you got in the next round of the FA Cup? Stoke. I'm going to Stoke next week, buddy.
Who are you?
Me and Josh. Luke, obviously the guys in the chat won't know Luke, but obviously I took Luke to football today, didn't I? And he's asked to see if I can get him tickets so he can come as well next weekend. So potentially there might be a couple more of us going.
Oh, didn't ask me, Anne.
No.
Derby was enough, but
yeah, Derby was the thing. Derby was enough, but
yeah, it's probably not for life. Derby did.
I might be able to pick you up some cans of Carlin in that Bailey's DIY.
Yes,
mind on the
that's all you need to do for me. Actually, that's the reason I was going to go, not for football, mate, just to stop in that place and watch some wife to stock up. Nah. Good.
One thing before we do finish, though, I do want to say a massive thank you to the guys from Leeds who have tuned in. You're welcome anytime. Much appreciated. Obviously, the banter's been mild, really, to be fair. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah, welcome, obviously, you getting involved and interacting with us. Wish you all the very best for the rest of the season. Hope you get to the promised land and hope you manage to stay up there and do well. But thanks for getting involved.
Salonian knobs.
But yeah, welcome to join us whenever you want. But and obviously to the faithful, there's lots and lots of people in green now on in the chat, which obviously highlights that they're members. Don't panic if you've joined via Patreon, because obviously your name doesn't show green. It's only if you've joined through YouTube, the Cardiff City World on YouTube. But yeah, big, massive push now. If you can't become a member, if you can, just hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out. If you can, share the posts and the videos and things like that on social media. It really does help us as well. And last thing from me then is score predictions for the FA Cup game next Saturday. Once the video is finished and the live is ended, can you please go on and put your score predictions for Stoke against Cardiff next Saturday? Happy days. Anything else you want to cover, buddy, before we Frank Boff?
Are you going to do a prediction yourself? Because I don't know, I might not catch you now then. Well, apart from tomorrow on Patreon, but there won't be.
I'm going to go Cardiff to win on penalties.
Do you know what? This is going to give me like really bad, traumatized feelings now, because I can't say my normal 2-1 Cardiff, Dimmy and CO to score. Breaks my heart. This does so much. And disclosure, I emailed CO not so long ago, and he's not replied to me yet, so he's dead to me now. But no, I'm gonna go 1-0 Cardiff. Ruben Colwell will score.
Happy days. So don't forget, lads, get your. I don't think we talked about the 21s after, did we? Should we do our quick before we finish?
You look great.
The end. No, just quickly, just a positive to get Rambo back out on the field. Played 45 minutes, I think. Set up one of the goals. That's a massive plus for us. Got a very funny feeling he'll probably be involved in the FA Cup squad on Saturday. So, yeah, let's hope he can get some more minutes under his belt and try and get back and push for that first team squad. But
yeah, I think so, mate. I agree. I think you'll get some minutes at Stoke. I don't think you'll start. And who knows anymore? I don't think personally you'll start, but I think you definitely will get some minutes. The Loney will get some minutes as well Saturday, I think. And I think Sarge will start as well Saturday. I think you have to start him in an FA Cup game. It'd be silly not to. It'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, 100%. Right. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Very much appreciated. Rob, thanks for jumping on as well, buddy. Much appreciated.
No days off, me, mate. Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Boosh! Prize fighter on point.
No star power.